Hello everybody, in this video we're going to learn about our friends the birds. They're so diverse and there are so many colours and shapes, it's fun to learn about them. For example, this tiny little hummingbird doesn't look anything like this huge ostrich. And these penguins don't look much like this peacock with its large fan-shaped tail. Well, they may not look alike, but they're all birds and have many things in common. Birds are oviparous, which, as you know, means that they reproduce by laying eggs. The females lay the eggs in nests, in the rocks or on the ground, and with the heat of their bodies, they incubate the eggs until the little chicks hatch. Birds don't have teeth, they have beaks or bills, and these can be very different, depending on what that species of bird feeds on. They breathe with their lungs that are connected to bags full of air called air sacs, and these help birds to fly. Also, nature, which is very clever, has made their bones hollow, so they weigh very little, and because of this, it's much easier for them to fly. The skin of birds is covered with feathers. These protect them from the cold and heat. Birds have 4 limbs. The back ones are legs, and the front ones are wings. Together, the wings and feathers are essential for them to be able to fly. And in some cases, so they can swim. Birds are terrestrial, and most of them can fly. Can you think of any birds that can't fly? That's right. Penguins and ostriches are 2 species of birds that cannot fly. Birds have 4 types of feathers. Those that cover the whole body. Flight feathers in the wings that help them to fly. Down feathers, which cover the chest and belly and maintain the body at a constant temperature. And tail feathers that help guide the bird's body like a rudder on a boat. Birds can be classified into several groups according to what they eat. Herbivores feed on plants and grasses. Their beaks are short and strong and can crush seeds and grains. When they only eat grains, they're called granivores. Carnivorous birds hunt and eat other animals, using their strong, curved beaks. Within the group of carnivores, there are insectivores that only eat insects, and piscivores that only feed on fish. These birds have pointed beaks that are long and sharp to help them catch the fish. Remember, birds that eat fish are called piscivorous. The last group, omnivorous birds, includes pigeons and hens, and they eat almost anything. So remember, birds are oviparous, which means they reproduce by laying eggs. Their mouths are beaks or bills, and they breathe with their lungs. Their skin is covered with feathers, and depending on the food they eat, they can be herbivorous, carnivorous, or omnivorous. So, now you know a lot more about birds.
Did you know that the fastest bird is the peregrine falcon? This bird of prey can reach up to 400 kilometers per hour whilst free-falling. Wow, it's so fast! Poor dove if it were to cross its path. On the other hand, the American woodcock is the slowest bird on the planet, flying at a mere speed of 8 kilometers per hour. Oh, check out its cute little babies. Did you know that the fastest land bird is the ostrich. This huge bird, actually the largest in the world, cannot fly, but it can reach up to 70 kilometers per hour. Running! It's faster than a moped. This tiny hummingbird also holds an impressive record. Besides being the smallest bird, it can also flap its wings 200 times per second, or in other words, 12,000 times in a minute. Incredible! They beat so fast that you can hardly even see them. It looks as if they're floating in the air whilst eating. And did you know that the penguin is the aquatic bird champion? Penguins can't fly, and on land they are rather clumsy, but they are incredible in water. Some species can reach the speed of 36 kilometers per hour. They swim 4 times faster than humans can. But the most impressive penguin is the emperor penguin. A person can dive to the depth of 260 meters, whereas this penguin species dives 535 meters deep and can hold its breath for 5 to 18 minutes. It's a bird. It has a beak and feathers, but it seems as if it wants to be a fish. Now we have learnt a few records and fascinating facts about birds. The truth is, it is beautiful observing them fly in the sky or swim in the sea. But, as we are always reminding you in Happy Learning, so as to continue enjoying them, we must look after our environment. Do not contaminate the air, the sky, the rivers and seas. We must take care of our nature and all that is around us. And like that, we will be able to live in a happier world.
Look how beautiful and elegant they are. Being able to fly like them must be super fun, right? Eagles are birds that belong to the family of birds of prey and are also carnivores. So they use their strong claws and powerful, sharp beaks to hunt and feed. Like this one, which has just caught a fish. The eagles can see and locate their prey from a very long distance because they have excellent vision. They see 4 times better than us human beings. And they also see more colours. It's crazy!
Wow!
Their favourite prey are fish, snakes and rabbits. But they are so strong that they can even hunt antelopes and monkeys. Poor thing. Eagles are somewhat solitary birds. During the first 4 years of life, they almost live in solitude. They prefer to go out on their own. But when they grow up and are of breeding age, they look for a partner. And when they find one, they spend the rest of their lives together. In doing so, the males and females work together, building their nests and also caring for their chicks. Eagles live in equality, as all human beings should do. They are also symbols of power and freedom. Some countries have used them for their flags. And the truth is, I am not surprised, because they are the strongest birds and are at the top of the food chain. Which is very unfortunate for this poor fox. Although they do not have predators, many eagles are in danger of extinction. The reason is the same as always: the loss of their habitats due to deforestation. The absence of food, and in some places, the activity of hunters. Fortunately, many countries are becoming more aware of this, and there are conservation programs that are helping keep eagles alive. That's why we at Happy Learning are asking you to help them, that you take care of nature and pollute as little as possible, and that you recycle everything you possibly can. There is room for everyone on our planet. Yes. If we make a little effort, people, animals and plants can all live together and be very happy on this beautiful and wonderful planet.
Why can parrots talk? Parrots are incredible birds. Listen.
Hello, happy friends. Hello, happy friends.
Wow, this parrot is talking to us. But no. Parrots don't actually talk, but they imitate lots of sounds almost perfectly, including the human voice.
I like it. I like it.
They achieve this because of their long round tongue and to a vocal organ they have called syrinx. Other birds, like quaker birds or rooks, are also able to imitate a human voice. But this skill has nothing to do with the act of speaking. It's only an imitation of sounds. Another fun fact is that parrots are monogamous. They form couples which last all their lives. They are very romantic. They are also the only birds to eat with their claws. They usually pick up the food with one of their claws, and with it, they bring it to their beaks to eat it. The truth is that parrots are amazing birds, don't you think?
Animal food chain, also known as the trophic pyramid. Every living thing needs energy in order to live. And this energy is found in the food they eat. Living creatures are situated on various levels of the food chain, depending on what they eat. Fruit and vegetables are at the bottom of the trophic pyramid. These are called primary producers, as they can make their own food. They do this through a process called photosynthesis, which is a combination of the sun's energy with both water and nutrients obtained from the soil. On the pyramid's second level are the consumers. The consumers are all living things which feed on other living things. They are divided into 3 groups. The first is dedicated to the primary consumers. These are the herbivores, which are animals that eat directly from the producers, like these zebras or these cows. The secondary consumers are animals which feed on other animals. They are carnivorous and they eat meat, such as these wolves, this eagle, or this shark. Omnivores are also secondary consumers. Do you remember what they are? They are animals which eat both meat and plants, like these pigs, these bears, or even us, human beings. The last of the consumer groups is that of the tertiary consumers. In this group, we find the scavengers, like vultures which feed on dead animals, which are in a state of decomposition. Yuck! That is really disgusting, don't you think? After the consumers, the third level in the food chain is dedicated to decomposers. The decomposers are bacteria and mushrooms which are in charge of consuming animal remains. The functions of the decomposers is really important as they turn organic waste into inorganic material, creating new energy in the form of nutrient-rich soil. This then completes the cycle of life, as the producers in the pyramid's first level benefit from it, and so the whole new food chain starts. The truth is, nature is very intelligent and therefore we must protect it as well as respect it tremendously, including all its inhabitants. For as you have just witnessed, all of them, no matter how insignificant they may seem.
Hello happy friends, are you ready to learn? I'm Sarah and today we're going to have a Q&A game that will fly high up in the sky because today it's going to be about birds. Let's start. In terms of reproduction, do you know what birds are like? Viviparous, oviparous, oviviviparous, or asexual? Exactly! Birds are oviparous. That means that they reproduce through eggs. Let's get to know a little more about these animals' reproduction. Female birds lay eggs in nests, rocks, or the floor itself, and incubate the eggs with their body heat until these become chicks. Did you know that laying hens in farms hold the world record of laying eggs? They are able to lay 300 a year. That's amazing! So, if laying hens can live up to 10 years, 10 times 300 is 3,000! Laying hens lay up to 3,000 eggs in a lifetime. That's so much! Now let's tackle the next question. Do you know how birds breathe? Through their lungs, through their gills, through their skin and lungs, or through their skin pores when they're flying? Of course, birds breathe through their lungs. And they have two super cool fun facts. Listen carefully to the explanation. Birds breathe through their lungs. These are linked to some snacks called aerial sacs, which fill up with air and allow the birds to fly. Another nature fun fact is that birds' bones are hollow, so they are very light in weight and make flying easier. The truth is that nature is marvellous and so savvy, don't you think? Let's do the last question. How can we know what type of diet a bird has by only looking at them? Through their beak, through their legs, through their size, or through their head? Of course, it's logical. We know what type of diet birds have because of their beaks. But do you know how many beaks there are? If we look closely, carnivore birds have strong and curved beaks, and thanks to them, they are able to eat meat and hunt their prey. Within the carnivores, we have those which are piscivorous, who eat fish. They capture them with their long and pointed beaks. Herbivore and carnivorous birds feed from vegetables and grains. Their beaks are short and strong, and with it, they grind the seeds and herbs they feed from. This parrot's beak, for example, is able to break some dried fruit's shells. And lastly, presenting the hummingbird, the smallest bird on Earth. Because it feeds from the nectar in flowers, it has a very long and sharp beak. And this way, it can reach its nectar without breaking the flower. It's a very delicate bird.
Well, happy friends, as I always say, I hope you've answered all of the questions correctly. But if you haven't, it's okay, because what's important is that you've learnt lots of things and that you've had lots of fun. Goodbye, happy friends. See you next time. I hope you're always ready to learn. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to Happy Learning TV. Goodbye.